How do you attack one of the most heavily defended British Army positions in the north? In 1989, the IRA answered that question with 4 homemade mortars hidden inside a tractor trailer parked in the middle of a village square. What happened next was one of the most daring attacks ever carried out in South Armagh. During the conflict known as the Troubles, the South Armagh Brigade earned a fearsome reputation. To the British Army, it was one of the most dangerous postings in the north. To the IRA, it was a stronghold where they could challenge military control using ingenuity, local knowledge and increasingly sophisticated weapons. At the centre of Crossmaglen stood the overlooking Sangar, a British Army observation tower overlooking the village square. From its elevated position, soldiers could monitor activity throughout the area. But in October 1989, that watchtower became the target of a carefully planned IRA operation. Just after noon, an ordinary-looking tractor trailer entered Crossmaglen village. Nothing about it appeared unusual. Farm vehicles were a very common sight in South Armagh, and few people would have paid much attention. But nobody could see that the trailer concealed 4 mortar tubes aimed directly at the overlooking Sangar. The IRA had carefully chosen their position. The trailer had an almost perfect line of sight to the observation post. Once everything was in place, timers were activated and the attackers left the scene. Minutes later, the mortars fired. The quiet village square erupted with explosions. At least one mortar smashed through the protective cage surrounding the observation tower, causing extensive damage to the structure and its roof. The blast was powerful enough to throw a large piece of corrugated iron more than 75 yards from its original position. Nearby houses suffered shattered windows, and a nearby car park was damaged by the force of the explosions. For a brief moment, the British Army's imposing observation post was under direct attack. The area was immediately sealed off. Bomb disposal experts were called in to investigate. Soldiers searched for evidence and attempted to determine who had carried out the attack. But the attackers had already disappeared, and no immediate arrests were made. The operation had lasted only moments, yet it had succeeded in striking at one of the most visible symbols of British military presence in South Armagh. What made this attack especially significant was where it happened. South Armagh was not like Belfast or Derry. Instead of large-scale urban confrontations, the conflict here often revolved around ambushes, roadside bombs, snipers and homemade heavy weapons. The local IRA brigade became particularly famous for its mortar teams. Over the years, these improvised weapons became increasingly effective and would eventually evolve into the famous barrack busters, capable of causing devastating damage to fortified military installations. The brigade also relied heavily on roadside bombs and command wire explosives. British Army patrols often faced such a high risk on local roads that helicopters became the preferred method of transport. The result was a constant contest between military surveillance and IRA innovation. The mortar attack demonstrated that even heavily defended positions remained vulnerable. Despite the dramatic nature of the attack, there was no report of fatalities. The observation post remained manned, helicopter deliveries continued, and the British Army repaired the damage and maintained its presence in Crossmaglen. But the attack had delivered an important message. The IRA had shown that they could strike at fortified military positions in broad daylight in the centre of a busy village and escape before security forces could respond. For Republicans, it was a demonstration of capability. The 1989 attack on the overlooking Sangar was not the largest operation of the Troubles, nor was it the deadliest, yet it perfectly captured the nature of the conflict in South Armagh. More than 3 decades later, the overlooking Sangar is gone, removed as part of the peace process.